raised if they weren't already. Capitalize on it, get some points on the board, and just finally find that momentum you so desperately need. The sad thing for them is you've got Gaming Gladiators so close to you, and we've already seen with a zone like this that's close to GG, they're very good at rotating fast and holding down that position, and they're the #1 team at the moment. Their fighting skills have been exceptional, and they're going to be full of confidence.
Speaking of quick rotators, here's GK on your screen heading towards the Evo Harvester. They should be able to get up to blue off the back of that, and we'll feel a lot more confident in doing so moving forward when it comes to those fights. Thermal station maybe where they think about having a little interact with the survey beacon. As DCG find themselves in one of these eastern buildings inside a lava siphon. Already Siphon's starting to look a little bit busy. A lot of room to be played inside a siphon, Dan. One of my favorite zones to watch. You've got GG, Nemesis already there, Rejects, NIP like we mentioned, PXX have just arrived, RRQ, you've got For Fun moving through Harvester already. And then you've got the likes of Sentinels and JD Gaming moving from that southern side already in towards the vicinity.
Only 6 legends in play in total, by the way. More Valkyries this time, so we are going to see a lot more people committing to the end game a little bit later. I think what's going to make this end zone in particular more interesting is the 10 altars that are still going to be available. With the building of Lava Siphon being very much in play towards the end game here, you can kind of risky commit through and go blind if you start to struggle a little bit on your rotation. So we might see a few forced fights just by taking that risk.
RRQ controlling the most eastern building, you can see that here. VKG now also falling down onto that low ground. Probably having a little bit of a second thought, thinking about looking to play this choke and wrap through the Harvester side. Watson in the composition for them, not seeing any fences down as yet, and just as I say that, we do see that, and that looks like what the plan is going to be. Now this position is pretty good if they want to Valcult a little bit later on and look to play some of the height that will be available in Lava Siphon, but that's a long way away for them at the moment.
So I do like, actually, there's a few positions teams are trying to rotate down towards launch site, perhaps expecting there to be some movement from Gaming Gladiators and also gain the information from the ring console as well. But at the moment, VKG are just going to be happy to hang around in and around Harvester. Harvester can be a powerful position with a zone like this because you've got a lot of room to play, a lot of objects to hide behind, but also you can capitalize on other people rotating through, sometimes even ambushing them, especially now we don't have that Seer and Crypto in play.
Zaire have been a little bit quiet. 2 games, 6 points. Not the best of performances from them, and they've got a long way to go towards this zone. Survey Beacon going to be hit here by Satuki. And they haven't got any teams around them whatsoever. No surprise, considering the zone is the opposite side of the map. Now, inside of the train tunnel that's a little bit closer to the zone, you can see TIE and NIP having a little bit of an engagement. Also, RRQ and DCG having a fight inside of that eastern building that we saw taken by RRQ pretty early on. Strafing Flame, though, he finds one, but he'll be traded out. Easy Flash down to 50 HP. Pricey following him to something pretty similar when it comes to health, and now they look like they're in a little bit of a difficult situation.
I mean, I loved the play from Strafing Flame, but sadly the rest of the team wasn't able to capitalize on it. Sometimes that happens as a Wraith. You get aggressive, you think you're doing something perfect, but the rest of the team doesn't have the same abilities as you do. But a team that may be able to capitalize, Sentinels, now hearing all this commotion, might be able to clean up what is left here of DCG.
Sentinels looking to move in to do exactly that. The knockdown shields can be frustrating though, but a breach charge certainly does help. Monsoon moves through, that's going to be DCG gone, so Sentinels seizing the opportunity for the third party here. And now they will claim this building as their own, and one good bit of news for them, similar to something that helped them out at Champstan. There is a mobile respawn beacon blocking one of those doors that has been blown off. Now, if you take yourself back to Champs, that Pixel building had something pretty similar outside of it that really did help Sentinels stay alive.
Every little helps, you know. It's funny how these players will always find any little detail to just give you a little bit more protection, and if it's provided by another team, even better. As this zone, by the way, is already so full. Only 4 teams who haven't made their way down towards Lava Siphon at the moment. Which does mean those 4 teams are going to have a very hard time arriving. In particular, though, GK, they're currently looking towards Trinity, and Trinity are actually taking a position around them, trying to surround them, maybe looking like they're going to go for the kill here.
And Job's just trying to find a queue here that can get them somewhere safe. Zone's going to start to close. GK are just about safe, but I think Drop wants to reposition here. He doesn't really like the engagement early, especially when it's one of those ones where only one team's gone in the lobby. This is a low reward engagement here. Even if you win this one, you know, it's a couple of KP, but it really doesn't help you when it comes to those placement points and the rotate that you're trying to make. Trinity being very, very aggressive onto it though, but it looks like GK have managed to find at least a Q out to somewhere down that low ground. In fact, Dropped is going to have to jump back now. And all of a sudden, they find themselves sandwiched between Elite and Trinity. This is not looking good.
Yeah, sadly, Trinity are one of the teams that are on such little points at the moment. They're looking to try and take advantage of any possible points, even if it's KP, even if it's risky KP. And GK are probably saying, like, what do you want? What's your deal? What's your problem? Why do you need this fight? And sadly, Trinity are going to be able to surround them here, and GK may fall.
Keon takes quite a lot of damage. Dropped is doing his best to just disappear through portals, and all of a sudden, Keon is left on his own with just a vault in his hands. He can make this a 1v1 though, and he can make this interesting, but GK Esports will be eliminated. Vol's gonna be last alive as Elite now try to move in to clean up the pieces. He's gonna be able to portal out by the looks of things though. You take this one?
Get those kills quick.
Take
it, I would. I'd commit to it. Well, actually, they've actually seen where the portal is, and they say we might not need to take it because it's so close. A stupid push, if I'm completely honest, by Trinity. That is a horrible one that has ruined the game for GK, almost for themselves. And now Zeta Division are arriving. Elite Esports probably very delighted being able to capitalize on really taking up so much real estate off the back of it, but now suddenly Elite Esports have to turn around because Zeta also getting involved. The snowball of events that happen just from one push is crazy.
Looks like Zeta can't quite find where those remaining members have gone to. Elite have scarpered away to the safety of Harvester. I think it's a pretty smart decision. Everything got a little bit too busy on that side of the zone. Now over to Alliance. Almost feels like it's beginning to be now or never for them. Aku taking a lot of damage here on the Maggie. Gonna have to take the time to get the shields back to full. They are gonna be safe here on the hill, but what's the next play for them? Hackett is on the Valkyrie, so they don't have to force their way into zone for now. We'll be able to do this a little bit later. As you can see, the BKG are taking a fight here against Zeddy, and Jelly has gone down. QQ got to be careful though, just scarper back to safety. It looks like they're just about able to do so.
I think a lot of these teams are looking at this zone and saying, I don't know how much further we can get into the center without risking our game here, so perhaps we do start to look for a bit more engagement. By the way, Elite Esports was still looking for the remaining player from Trinity earlier. That they forced their way all the way up to Harvester, but they have also escaped Zeta Division at the same time, as Sentinels still alive on this southern side as well. And Sentinels actually are in a pretty good position if they can force RRQ out of this building, but sadly unable to do so at their first attempt.
Lynx are trying to put the pressure on. Those RVs can be a difficult place to hold with a lot of Maggies in the lobby like we do have right now, and you're going to see it from the POV of RRQ. Easy Flash is staring at 1, he's staring at 2, and right on cue, the riot drills become a real problem for them, forcing them to take the portal. But where does that portal go? Not far enough.
Great aggression though from Sentinels. Forces RRQ out. Again, it was one of them kind of biggest fears. Oh, what a pull it is for Sentinels as well when you get to see on it.
Jeez.
Our world champions may have just capitalized on their aggression onto RRQ. That being said, they still need to find playable space. Now AG are starting to smell something out, and that's the pull I was talking about. Bad news though for NIP, who, as we said, they need points here in this game, and now they're going to have to go through quite a few teams if they want to get to this next zone.
Well, one team that we're going to jump into a listening with is Elite Esports. I mean, they're moving their way through Harvester at the moment, but they're about to run into Trinity and a couple of other teams, so let's see what the comps sound like for Elite.
You loot the mythic real quick?
Yeah, go.
Nothing. Flying?
On us. Let it on me. I need to get high. Kill up.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Back flying on you.
I kill down.
Come.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, baby. I'm Jenning.
Yeah, on us, please shield us. Shoot. Kill up, backside.
Yeah.
I'm swinging the back of it.
I'm syringing. 1 second. The drum.
I got you. Yeah, kill me. Get inside. Stand down.
I can't. I got silent.
100.
I'm swinging on the outside.
Enemy, 100.
Right,
Outside, both outside. Enoch, chill a bit. He's swinging hands now. No. Just chill. Kill him now. One. No. Rest him. Yeah, rest me and swap. Rest me swap, we have to go kill. My ping.
We can queue through the tunnel as well, like.
Yes.
Well, you have the clutch factor as Kinda wins the 1v1. That's going to be Zeta Division out of the lobby, but Elite now have to scarper. They have a long way to go from Harvester.
That is the quickest looting you're going to see as well, by the way. So many teams will probably die to zone because they don't loot quick enough, but Elite are in, they're out, and now they have to try and push on this western side. Fantastic fight, by the way, and great to be in the listening, just knowing the important comms of when to be able to bat, when to push, who's swinging. Everyone playing a part in Elite, even if they were knocked to the ground.
And here's another team in a great position for another good game. It's going to be AG. They are center zone at the moment. We'll be safe for that next zone as well. RC also the winners of our previous game in a very, very good spot, as Alliance have found somewhere to play. They have VKG holding them out, but Alliance are in a pretty good spot for this game.
Boy, do they need it. Boy, did they need points, Alliance.
Alliance got a Kraber.
There's Elite now on this western side that I was mentioning. They have a few teams that are in front of them. There's two different ways they can approach this. They can either go a little bit further north and then try and rotate all the way around to try and touch the northern tip and hope that they catch people shadowing them. Or they take their fight directly with 4 Fun here and then rotate on the southern side. But I think if they do that, it encourages GG to get involved. I like this though. Yeah, this is the northern route. This is probably the one I would have taken.
Smart to just jump through, just check it, see if there's anyone there, and then jump back through. Now Light, infinite ammo on the Kraber as well. This man can rack up all sorts of numbers in the next few moments. We saw him hitting some crazy shots yesterday. Henchman with the longbow in his hand as well. You do not want to peek Elite Esports right now, because this man will pull the trigger and give you a free rider plastic.
It's crazy, by the way, that Elite Esports heard 1 bullet when they void passage through, and they were like, nope, we don't fancy it. We'll go the other way.
12 seconds on zone hit. Gotta move, and we gotta move soon. No Valkyrie in the composition this time around for Elite, so they're gonna have to take the old-fashioned route. Sentinels have just been eliminated on that southern side, and by who else but Alliance. Alliance now in one of the best spots in the game.
Alliance could certainly capitalize on a good position, and also other teams starting to try and approach them from that southeast side as well. But now we follow the journey of Elite. They go into the evac tower, and they are quite literally out of the frying pan and into the fire here, but they're going to take the roof, which, to be honest, if you can stabilize and avoid gunfire, maybe this can work.
Tyler's just gone down for fun. Alliance, what have you got? Backs against the wall sometimes is where they've always done their best work. And with the rest of the lobby in front of them and their backs clear, Alliance have to make this work.
Just to give you an indication of where Alliance are in the overalls, by the way, 37th position right now, bottom 4. That would be elimination standard. GG, down to 2 players as they take their fight against RRQ. They do have a gen down. This is going to help them big time.
1v2 by the looks of things. Strafing Flame is the last alive. Maggie Ball goes in, but from height! A team gets involved. It's going to be GG eliminated. Zeddy Esports will also fall. Now with the zone starting to close and with teams starting to be pressured, fights have to take place. RRQ, the final members will be finished off on that low ground as well by AG, who pulled down to make sure that that land belongs to them. JDG trying to move up onto the position of Alliance themselves, but Alliance are aware of it.
That is a great stabilization from Alliance, not allowing JDG to push up on them. If Alliance were to have lost that fight, well, obviously the inevitable would have happened, they would have died, but it would have presented an opportunity for JTG to potentially get to the late game here, and now JDG reconsidering their position. As Lava Siphon's getting a little bit tricky and sticky. VK and NIP and PXX all in the same building now.
Ninjas in pajamas, this was your game as well. It pulls the Lava Siphon. You drop at Lava Siphon. You are alive in the center of zone. You had the pick of the litter. That's the way you wanted to play. But can you maximize the points now? Light, by the way, still with that Kraber. You just see it in the kill feed there. He's already found a head.
Yeah, we've seen how that Kraber can impact things. across a variety of games today as Elite will go back up to the top. And they can actually sit here when the zone does close. As now the prayers start to come through for Alliance. And perhaps they're working.
Or JDG might be swinging onto Alliance. Looks like they're safe for now. Kinatrope bang center of zone behind a Newcastle wall, by the way. As the prayers are being said by the Alliance fans.
Oh no. Aku's down.
Aku's down. Unlucky's down. Hackis, it's all on you. Top 10 is not good enough for Alliance again. JDD taking a lot of damage though from Kinatrope.
Trouble is for Alliance, it's going to be near impossible to get back up to a 3 here, so it's about just trying to survive and getting those extra placement points on board. We check back at one of the replays of how damaging the Kraber can be in the right hands. As elsewhere you can see AG, they push in! Reject down as for fun, fall 2.
Ooh, just about gets the shield swap in time, and that keeps him alive for a second longer than he needed to. AG Global finally will fall though, but it's more points on the board for them. Set center zone once more. Can see on your screen. PXX down on that low ground as we jump back over to Kraber Cam. There's fireworks, and then there's the light show.
Well, the two teams we said needed points, both still alive. Alliance only have the one of Hackis, but NIP also in prime position right now.
Hello!
Light putting on the montage for us.
It's like the 4th of July out here with the fireworks popping off from the Kraber of Light. The knocks are good, but where do they play next? Still looking for some angles. A couple of frag grenades might flush that team out from behind the cover they find themselves in. That's going to be JD Gaming, who at the moment are looking to get their teammate back into the game. They're going to be able to. Floating is back.
I mean, quite literally a beacon. Everyone drawn towards them as now you're going to see Light getting rezzed at the moment. Slightly overstepped, it's NIP who are trying to take that position away from them, or at least stop them from dropping on top of them anyway. Could this be the game that just turns the fortunes around for NIP?
Oh, PXX. Oh, luckily the zone is going to keep them alive for long enough. Alliance are out. It's top 7 for them as now the fight has to take place. VKG have done a lot of damage on that low ground, on that balcony. And LQ's going to be the last alive. He will fall as well, and kinda. He clutched a minute ago. He gets the shield swap, but can he survive any longer here?
Kinda's on 8 kills, by the way, at the moment. Elite are putting on a show. Finally, they will be wiped. NIP still alive and winning all of these engagements on the north as JDG now down to just 1. NIP in prime position to win this game from this position they find themselves in.
PXX still center zone. This is where they've been for quite some time, but with the angles and the height differential, Kurev and the wingman are starting to change the trajectory of this game. JD Gaming have been eliminated. PXX are weak down on the low ground as well. Kinatrope will be out. NIP smell the opportunity to turn their games around, to turn their fortunes around. And NIP will be a champions of Game 3.